Hey friends, John Story here. Just wanted to give you a quick rundown of the new Vintage Sound 35 SC, which I purchased a few months ago. 35 watt tube amp that's the size of a Princeton Reverb, but it's got the power of the 35 watt Fender amps, which back in the day were the Fender Vibrolux, the Fender Super Reverb. And yeah, the amp is awesome for me as a jazz player because it gives me plenty of clean headroom, plus a few extra features. So let me share with you what those features are. First, we get a middle control knob, which is huge because most Fenders from the mid-60s, the blackface era, didn't include a middle knob unless you got up to the larger amps like the Fender Twin Reverb. It's really helpful to be able to scoop or punch the mids depending on what kind of instrument I'm using. This L5 right here gets a pretty big warm sound. And sometimes I want the guitar to cut in a mix if I'm recording, so I might cut the mids back a little bit, or if I'm playing quieter, I might warm it up a little bit and turn those mids up. The next thing it's got is a dwell knob for the reverb, which is very helpful. So if I put the reverb at about 5 right now, got a nice tail. And if I turn the dwell here, there's no tail. And here's all the way up. So if I'm recording some fun guitar parts, you know, some kind of ethereal stuff, I might expand the reverb tail length. It's one of those things I don't really think much about unless it's bugging me, because sometimes certain amplifiers, especially the old vintage Fenders, have a reverb which is way too long for me. Last thing it's got is it has a Tremolo Circuit, which is called a Diaz mod, which means you can actually turn off and on with the little intensity knob here, the Tremolo Circuit from the rest of the amplifier. Very helpful for me when I'm trying to get a really clean sound, trying to record, and I don't need tremolo. Besides that, it also has what's called a bright cut, which has a switch that says bright and dark. Here's the L5 here with bright knob. Turn that verb down a little bit. And here's the dark switch. Just has more of a pillowy kind of sound. And a brighter sound. Classic Fender kind of tone. I found that I've been using the bright switch when I use my Telly, my 335, and when I'm using my arch tops in a louder situation, like with an organ player. And I'm using the dark every now and then if I'm playing quieter gigs, solo guitar gigs, and duo gigs. Well, all in all, I really love the amp. It's great. Rick was amazing at Vintage Sound. The price is right, too. For most boutique amplifiers, you're looking at spending well over $2,000, and his amps are all priced right around there and under. Humbucker Music in Georgia was also very helpful for me in purchasing this amplifier. So if you're looking to get yourself a cool tube amp that maybe has a little bit of something extra that the Fender reissues and the old vintage Fenders don't have, I highly recommend that you check out Rick Hayes' Vintage Sound amplifiers.